I won't go into tons of detail on all the topics, reports and investigations or inspections. But suffice to say, KPMG is the only one of the firms that over the next working day or so push to become the little guy's friend, to kind of push into the SME space. It's a topic quite close to my heart, so obviously I'm very interested in how smaller practices manage themselves going forward and evolve. And obviously we've had the big firms pushing down the market. And we've written a bit of an analysis. One of our former writers, Naomi Rainey, put that together for us, which was greatly appreciated. And she covers, the use of tech platforms the big four firms are using to offer services to a broad range of SMEs. Now obviously smaller practices have been saying, well, yeah, the big four firms will charge a lot of money for that, and that will even increase more when they start actually providing kind of face-to-face services or personal service as such. The big four have tried to rebuff that, I think, and say that the platforms that they use are quite affordable, but they can still provide that personal advice when required. I think it's a recognition really that all accounting firms are looking at the models in which they operate in, and the services they provide and to whom they provide them. And tech is obviously a key part of a key platform or a key thing that they're going to use to leverage and make changes to their models, and tech is absolutely integral to that process. Moving on from that, Heelgate is still hobbling on. So there's been a lot more talk this week around gender issues as far as professional services is concerned. PwC of course have said that they are reviewing their policies, that they're kind of quite happy going forward. Kind of on the issue of gender, KPMG US, not in the UK but in the US, there's been a long-running litigation issue with a former employee, Donna Kasman, who claimed that her salary was slashed while she was actually on maternity leave. 5 new plaintiffs have joined that suit. KPMG is also battling against 1,000 existing and former female employees that are kind of joined in that class action worked at KPMG during that time. And obviously the litigants are saying that having 5 more plaintiffs on the class action lawsuit is a really, really big deal. Obviously KPMG in the US is saying that it kind of vigorously denies any of the claims against it, but that has been a long running story going for the last few years, and we've covered it quite extensively on Accountancy Age, so that's a really, really interesting story to catch up on. One from across the other side of the pond. We had the Queen's speech this week. There were a couple of issues around concerns around trying to better regulate the master trusts. Master trusts are where groups of employers run their pension schemes under like an umbrella governance system. We also had the Criminal Finance Bill, where there was discussion facilitating tax evasion. Now the CIOT has said that they have concerns really about the amount of legislation that's in this area already. Do we need any more? But that's the story we've covered on Accountancy Age, worth keeping an eye on that. On slightly lighter matters, we have a questionnaire up on our site, a quiz, it's probably the better way of describing it, which will test your knowledge of the hot topics in the accounting world over the past 7 days, and we have 7 questions to cover those 7 days. So have a look at accountancyage.com, test yourself on the week's hot topics and see whether you can get 7 out of 7. The other issue we've been dealing with obviously is the ongoing BHS debacle, and we've had the accountancy firms are being called in to various parliamentary committees to give evidence around the advice that they gave to BHS prior to BHS entering administration. And I think it's fair to say that we'll probably have updates on BHS on a weekly basis. Obviously, whenever these big giants of commerce or retail go under, there are always lots of questions to be answered. Cameraman, trusty cameraman, has anyone asked any questions that I need to? It's a red cider that we have here at the Draft House, which is really, really nice, and I strongly recommend it. I probably need to find out the actual name of it. But moving swiftly on from that, I hope you all have a lovely afternoon and a great weekend and a good working week next week. See you next Friday.